These are your evening headlines for July 16th, 2025, right here on BYU-Idaho Radio. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Elise Krapp. Student reporter Alex Batman tells us about BYU-Idaho's iTalent event.
This weekend, Campus Life invites students to iTalent, BYU-Idaho's talent show, where students will showcase their talents and skills on stage. Abby Kotke, Campus Life coordinator over institutional events, says this talent show will include a variety of talents.
We typically have more niche talent shows. We've done BYU Idol, which is just singing, and we've done Battle of the Bands, which is just full band members. We've done dance competitions, but this is just a general pool of talent. You can do whatever you'd like.
Kotke says there's going to be a theme and food.
We're kind of doing an Italian restaurant bistro theme. And so we'll have some food, and you can just watch the performers.
Kotke says the talent show helps students get involved in activities that show them off as much as possible.
Student activities in general, we're trying to just get student involvement and highlight students. I think students being involved is a big part of your college experience. That's what gives you affinity for your university. That's what just creates those lasting memories that you have during college.
Judges and audience will choose the winners, adding an element of audience participation to the mix. There will also be an MC who will do some giveaways in between acts. The show is this Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. in the Crossroads. Tickets are $3 and can be found either online at byui.evenue.net or in person at the University Store Ticket Office. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Alex Batman.
Student reporter Austin Pace goes in depth on BYU-Idaho's future housing situation.
BYU-Idaho is going on 25 years as a university and is seeing incredible growth, with a 25,000 projected student enrollment this fall, an increase of 9% compared to last year.
It looks like we have another record-breaking group of incoming students this fall. The surge highlights the remarkable nature of BYU-Idaho. With this exciting growth comes a real challenge. Approved single housing is nearly full, but it's not gone. To our male students, about 500 spaces remain. Now's the time to clear your holds, register, and secure your housing. To our female students, options are very tight, but housing contracts continue to open up.
BYU-Idaho President Alvin F. Meredith III says the surge of enrollment is exciting for the school. Since President Meredith became president in 2023, Brett Sampson, the managing director of University Relations, says university is hard at work to show what BYU-Idaho has to offer.
We have worked with President Meredith in University Relations, University Communications, to go around the country to put as many messages and campaigns out there about what happens at BYU-Idaho, the quality education it has, on top of its mission to develop disciples of Jesus Christ.
This also brings to light a shift in momentum across the other church educational system institutions, showing young adults are choosing faith-based learning in greater numbers than before. Deseret News reports that this fall, a record total of 117,204 students are enrolled by colleges and universities sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. There are more students enrolled this semester than were attending classes at this time last year at each of the CES schools. But it also brings a serious challenge for students like Ellie Butler, who are looking for approved student housing. Butler is an incoming freshman who is looking to study nutrition at BYU-Idaho. After recently returning from her mission in Louisiana, she has struggled to find housing options.
I got off my mission almost 2 months ago, and so I remember trying to coordinate things with friends that were home or things like that, but with mission rules, I couldn't message them on Messenger, and it's just harder to get in contact with people. And so it was kind of okay, you know what, I'll get home in May. There's still a lot of time till fall. I'm sure things will be fine if I get home and then kind of get on it. And now it's kind of like, okay, well, everything's filled, and I know that I'm not the only one with that problem finding housing.
The record-breaking enrollment is bringing in a higher demand for student housing. A news release from BYU-Idaho says the school is expanding housing tools, increasing communications, and exploring both immediate and long-term support for impacted students. Sampson says the school is working closely with local property owners to do just that.
This increase in enrollment over the last 2 years has happened at such an accelerated rate, it's happened a little quicker than people could build for. And understandably, they're also a little bit cautious to build because, again, they don't want to overbuild.
While it may seem there are no housing options now, especially for women, there is still a lot of time until the start of the fall semester. Contracts and plans change, making it important to stay up to date with those changes.
The best answer to how students who are wrestling with finding a place to live for fall semester in particular would be to call the housing office, or even better, the BSC, or the BYU-Idaho Support Center. That number is 208-496-1411. They're able to talk with a student about their situation and even work with them on such things as holds, options for housing, get them to the right place and get them on the right waiting lists and lists generally. So they'll have the most resources.
Transferring your contract as a student is oftentimes a hefty task with the transfer fee. But Sampson said the school is ready to help students with that too.
We recognize that that's a little bit discouraging, but we want to be able to help them by giving them some credit to use for that transfer fee to cover it if they are in fact interested in transferring or selling their contract to somebody else.
Campus experience packages are also available for students with family in Rexburg. The packages could include free campus parking passes and various tickets and vouchers to make sure students are still able to connect with students and campus culture, a culture that students like Audrey Curtis crave on campus. Curtis is a sophomore from Grantsville, Utah, studying biochemistry with a minor in business management who is struggling to find a way to be on campus this fall semester.
All the students on campus are amazing. You know, they all carry that spirit. I live in a small town in Utah, and it's very much a bubble, right? And I'm from Utah, so it's a spiritual bubble. It's a safety place. And Rexburg is also like that. Ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to come to BYU-Idaho. I remember my dad telling me about it, my friends' parents talking about it, and it's really encouraged me to go. And I love the people there. I love the people that I've met.
While there may be some who can't quite cross housing off their list of to-dos for the coming fall semester, President Meredith gave his advice to those students.
Be proactive, join the housing office waitlist, and reach out directly to apartment complexes you're considering to be added to their waitlist, and share this information with other students. If you have questions or need more information, please contact the BYU-I Support Center. There's still hope and more options are coming. We're excited for an incredible fall semester with each of you.
For updates and housing resources, visit byui.edu/housing or call BYU-Idaho Support Center at 208-496-1411. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Austin Pace.
These have been your BYU-Idaho Radio evening headlines for July 16th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. More news, interviews, and great content are available on our podcast feed. Search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast apps. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and more. You can also ask your smart speakers to play KBYI 94.3 FM.